I won't sing the song to you all, but we all know that 1 is the loneliest number. However, we didn't have to worry about that yesterday as we had PBA doubles action to enjoy on Fox. This Roth Holman doubles telecast had a number of familiar faces and a couple of pairings who have previously won this event together. By all accounts, it was a decent show with fairly modest scoring pace, which we'll get into later on. In this video, I'm going to look at some of the top highlights from the telecast. We've got a fair bit to break down, so let's start this video straight off with number 1, the importance of bowling as a team. If you've ever been part of any team, you'll know how important chemistry is and how vital it is to be able to work together as a team. This was proven by the fact that 3 out of the 5 doubles pairings that made the telecast had vast amounts of experience bowling together. You had Sean Rash and Matt Ogle, who have actually won this event before, as have Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill. Plus, you also had DJ Archer and Sean Maldonado, who made their 5th career televised doubles championship round appearance. These 3 pairings have all had vast experience bowling as a team together and have had great success doing so. This in turn creates confidence, and their ability to work together just elevates their individual games. It's no accident that these 3 very experienced pairings made the telecast, and it just shows how important it is to bowl as a team. Number 2, dual oil patterns. We saw dual oil patterns being used, the 43-foot Roth on the left and the 38-foot Holman on the right. This saw the players attack the lanes very differently. They were pretty deep on the left lane and then typically playing a much straighter line on the right, particularly Sean Rash, who was able to get the ball back from quite wide. Dual patterns are the standard for this tournament, but it made me wish we could see these more during singles events. It really does create a good challenge for the pros, and we could see that in the scores. You certainly could score on these, but you could also see that things could easily start to go wrong once the players lost the shot slightly. For the pairings that lost their matches, they were typically in the 170s. We did see some good scoring from Rash and Ogle in matches 1 and 2, but the lanes definitely got trickier as the matches went on, and we saw the scores drop in the title match particularly. But we'll get onto that shortly. It was good to see the players having to think and deal with the 2 different oil patterns, and it's something I always enjoy watching. It's always fascinating to see how they decided to attack these dual patterns and the adjustments they make when they start to break down. Number 3, performances from Sean Rash and Matt Ogle. Sean Rash and Matt Ogle were very impressive in their first 2 matches. They scored 238 and 258, and both of them were lined up. There was one little moment that stood out to me at the start of Game 2. Rash had this messenger that came out of nowhere, but look how calm and composed he remained, telling Ogle to stay focused. This was an excellent display of a strong mental game, not getting overexcited with the great break, but instead staying composed and keeping their emotions in check. And that sort of thing just comes with experience, but it's interesting to see Rash act in that way, as when he first came onto the tour, he would have been the complete opposite, getting in his opponent's face. Unfortunately, Game 3 would not go their way. Frame 1 saw Ogle missed the 2-8 and then he left the 4-9 in frame 3. They did throw 3 in a row to try and stage a comeback, but Ogle then went very high to leave a 10-pin. He wasn't able to get going in match 3, and DJ Archer and Sean Maldonado continued to strike, although DJ Archer did have a little wobble at the end, leaving the 3-4-6-7-10 and the 4-7-10 in his last 2 shots. This one was close, with the final score being 221 to 215, so those 2 open frames clearly were very costly. If they had made it through, maybe they would have been able to take down O'Neill and Belmonte. But the main takeaway for me here was that both Rash and Ogle looked really good on the lanes, and it made me think that we could well see one of them win a singles title this season. Number 4, proof that sometimes winning doesn't have to be pretty. When we got to the title match, it was clear the lanes had become quite tough. Belmo struggled to find the pocket consistently at first, and Maldonado's ball was now struggling to turn the corner on the right lane. For DJ Archer, the carry was not kind, as he left a pocket 7-10 on his first shot and then 2 10-pins, the second of which he missed. O'Neill did manage to steady the ship while Belmonte was getting lined up, and they managed to double to take a 38-pin lead after 7 frames. Another open from Archer in the 8th essentially ended their hopes, and O'Neill did miss a 10-pin himself, but as I said, it was pretty much over at this point. Being completely honest, this was far from a vintage performance from Belmonte or O'Neill. They really did have to grind it out on lanes that were playing tricky by this point, but that's sometimes what you have to do to get a result, and it doesn't have to be pretty. If they had come up against a doubles pairing that did manage to get lined up in that title match, we probably would have had a very different result. As it was, Belmonte got his 32nd career title and O'Neill captured his 15th. And that brings us to an end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed this one, and don't forget to let me know in the comment section below your highlights from the Roth Holman Doubles Championship. We've got a lot of PBA action coming up very soon, starting with the Mike Albee Classic on the 15th of March, and then followed by the World Series of Bowling. So a lot of bowling coming to TV very, very soon, and I would of course be doing breakdown videos for all of those telecasts. So to make sure you don't miss any of my future videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. That's going to do it from me for today, and as always, thank you bowling fans, and see you all next time.